interrupt when that press conference starts. Bruce, let me start with you. You heard what the president said earlier today. I guess the big question, why did it take 2 days for the president to do something that I think the rest of us would find pretty easy, to specifically denounce white supremacists, the Klan, and neo-Nazis?
Well, Jake, thanks for having me. And also, on behalf of the largest multicultural diversity coalition in the history of Republican Canada, we send our condolences out to the troopers and the young lady that lost their lives. Just wanted to put that out there real quick. But Jake, you know, it's interesting, when I heard all this going down, I was on my way over here, and I was looking back at how many times the president has denounced this person. I will not even give him life on this show, who this name is, or give him any more play in this mainstream media. And, you know, he has gone back as far as Larry King, 1991, totally disavowing this person and this group, this person that went up to Charlottesville and created this mockery of a mess. And so I think it's totally unfair. The other thing, too, Jake, is what people don't realize, and what I know the president's heart. I've been very privileged to be around him. I've seen in his eyes. I've talked to him. I've been with Pastor Scott, Michael Cohen, in many meetings with pastors. I know his heart. In that press conference, there is no doubt in my heart that President Trump is very upset to see troopers die, people die, and what was supposed to be a peaceful protest. So in all defense, on the weekend, you know, I think he was very saddened, but he has said, I think I counted 13 times from George's show, even your show, Jake, and many other shows in the past, that he has totally disemboweled this heinous group.
Well, he didn't do it on my show, but
well, he did.
Yes, he did. He didn't, but we can move on. I'm sure he has condemned the Klan and David Duke before. He definitely did not do it on my show a year and a half ago, and the video's out there. We can debate that some other time. Dr. Moore, let me ask you. You wrote a Washington Post op-ed today, and you wrote, quote, "White supremacy is Satanism. Even worse, white supremacy is a devil worship that often pretends that it is speaking for God. White supremacy angers Jesus of Nazareth." Very, very strong words, sir. Do you see a disconnect between President Trump and what we hear is his heart, and for whatever reason is his ability to swiftly condemn white supremacists?
Well, I don't know about the reactions of the political leaders, and I will leave that to the political class to sort that through. What I'm primarily concerned about is American culture. It's about the American church. Are we speaking clearly? Especially when we look around the world and we see this resurgence of anti-Semitism and racism and bigotry. We have to be the people who understand history doesn't just take care of this on its own. We have to be the people who guard what it means for everyone to be created in the image of God and to bear the dignity of human beings. And that's why churches are mobilizing in Charlottesville and everywhere else to say we can't assume just because we're in 2017 that somehow we've left the American legacy of bigotry and racism behind. That's what concerns me very much.
Bruce, you run the National Diversity Coalition for Trump. I get that you think that people are being unfair to him, but at times like this, will you grant me that he doesn't make your job any easier?
Well, no, and I just want to elaborate on Dr. Moore. Dr. Moore, I share a good friend of yours, Dr. James Merritt, down here in Atlanta, who I know very well. One thing about this whole deal that's going on in the mainstream as it relates to this topic, you know, we're sitting here trying to debate policy on a man and woman's heart. Now, since we're on the subject about churches, I belong to a ministry down here that has over 118 nations. Jake, you know, one thing about reconciliation, race reconciliation, we have to challenge ourselves as Americans. Who are social crowds, who we are, our cultures around us. Are we just one culture in our schools and our community? Or are we challenging our children ourselves to reach out beyond our quote, comfort level and get uncomfortable and reconcile with other diversity groups? For example, we cannot, under no circumstance, look to the government to reconcile a man and woman's heart. It comes within. And I agree with Dr. Moore. I follow Christ. Christ is in the forefront for me, who is the best and known person to walk this earth as the reconciliator of all time. So I challenge all Americans to look in the mirror. Ask yourself, am I looking outside of my comfort level? Am I just around an all-white church or all-black church or an all-white country club or all-black country? Ask yourself, am I challenging my kids to go to school, to sit with someone from a different culture and come back at the end of the day and say, hey, what did you learn about them? This is a people thing, Jake. This isn't a policy for the government. We as Americans, we need to reach out and reconcile our own hearts and get out of our segregated minds and hearts ministries. As Dr. King always said, The most segregated time is Sunday morning. The white church, the black church, this church. Multicultural. That's why I embraced, the president embraced the largest diversity coalition in the history of any GOP candidate. Jake, we're over 2 million plus. NBCTrump.com, we're growing. The numbers prove when he won this election with the African American vote, the highest